So, welcome to this lecture of industrial safety and engineering, in which we will see how the virtual reality techniques we can implement in our particular domain, in safety domain or different domains in which you are working. So, the particular lecture will be termed as VR roadmap, the roadmap to create the virtual reality environment, or how to know this virtual reality techniques. So, the contents will be 3D model development, then texturing, environment creation and user interface with the developed environment. So, for that, first what we have to know, the data collection that is required for the 3D modeling. If you are going to develop a particular 3D modeling of any particular component that is present in your workplace or present in any scenarios, accident scenario or real scenario, then you should be knowing what are the detailed data required for creation of the particular 3D models. So, for that particular purpose we should know what are the data collection procedure or what are the data collection methods that are used for the 3D modeling purpose. So, detailed data collection of the environment through photos and videos of the environment, then detailed data of the objects in the environment, static, movable objects along with their dimensions, which is very much important for the creation of a virtual environment, for the placing of a object in a virtual environment. Then scaling of object with respect to the real world situation. So, scaling, why the scaling part is important, because whenever the user will be interacting with the components inside this virtual environment, you should be feeling like this object is present in the virtual environment. The object present in the virtual environment is the replica of the object present in the real world. So, there should not be any mismatch between the dimension or the aspect ratio of that particular component that is present in the virtual environment. For that purpose, scaling of the object is very much important. Then texture of the object. The texture of the object means the color, roughness and shininess. If you are placing an object in the virtual environment which is already present in the real environment, so the object or component should look like the real environment, so that the user should not feel the difference between the component of real environment and the component present in the virtual environment. He should, as per that, he can work smoothly and perform his standard operating procedure, which we usually perform in the real world. So, what are the software that can be used for the purpose of this 3D modeling and texturing? So, for the purpose of 3D development of 3D models, SketchUp software can be used along with SolidWorks and 3ds Max, Maya software also it can be used. Then Unreal Engine is used for the texturing of 3D models and development of virtual environment. So, apart from the photos and videos that can be captured for the modeling, captured as the data source for the 3D modeling, what we can nowadays do is you can have one 3D laser scanner, that is a very advanced equipment which is used for the purpose of collection of data in a complicated shapes or complex environment. So, if you are going to take the data of a complicated devices or complicated equipment, or that is placed in a complex or integrated workplace. So, what you have to do, you just place this 3D laser scanner in that particular workplace, and it will automatically scan the workplace by rotating 360 degree, and it will give you the output in the form of a point clouds. So, you just have to join the point clouds using requisite softwares, and directly you can create the 3D model. So, in this process what will happen is, the time required for the photos and videos collection and time required for the generation of 3D models in using different 3D modeling software can be reduced. Directly you can create the 3D models with the help of this joining these point clouds. Next, I am showing you one reference snapshot of the software tool that can be used, that is Google SketchUp, in which different kinds of tool sets are given here, like select, rectangles, then polygon, circle, tap, measure, orbit, zoom. So, this kind of different dynamic components and different large tool set are available, in which certain tools are also there, in which you can perform your operation very easily, like follow me. It can be executed by first selecting the path, then choosing the follow me tool. It will automatically guide you to what you want to develop in this, but with the help of this 3D modeling. Then move command you can use, then offset command you can use to create a distance between the offset distance between the two objects. Then push and pull operation, which you can use for the width generation. Then rectangle are the basic tools that are used to create a 3D models. Then select bar are also there. So you just have to, what you have to do is you just install this software, Google SketchUp software, then go through different tools and tools available on that Google SketchUp software, and just explore through these tools and techniques, so that you can easily know what are the ways the 3D models can be created. Like first, the simplest template is the feet and inches, in which the dimension can be you can give, or by the dimension in terms of meters you want to extract. So this is the simplest template you can use. And standard views, which kind of view you want, either you want top view, bottom view, front view, back view, or iso view, that is isometric view. So you can see different kinds of views also in the SketchUp software. So this is another snapshot of this SketchUp tool, how we are using different kinds of views. Then how to create a normal 3D model. So you just click the rectangle and create a rectangle here, then click on the tool push and pull and click on the particular rectangle and drag it. Simply you can create a 3D model of the rectangle. So click the edge of the wall and move to the right, click the tape measure for the dimensioning purpose, and enter whatever dimension you want to insert in that particular whatever dimension you want to give to the particular 3D model in one of the edges or one of the sides. Next, if you are not able to create any 3D models, complicated 3D models or 3D models having dimension, you can also use its online repository, in which you can search. If you want to search chair, Morris chair, it will come automatically. If you want to use this Morris chair also, you can directly drag and drop this 3D model inside your software, 3D modeling SolidWorks software, and later on you can add some dimension or add any modification you want to add in this particular 3D models. You can also give along with dimension change. Now the texturing part. So that for the texturing, 4 kinds of thing we have to look at. First, the base image to be implemented. Suppose you want to develop the texturing for a particular component. That means you have to take the pictures of the component present in the environment, means real world environment. Then a base image of that component is to be implemented. Then normal map. So this normal map will give depth to this particular object. Then the occlusion map, it creates the soft shadowing as if the model was lit without a direct light source. That means occlusion map will create the soft shadowing. Then the specular map, which is actually used to give surface shyness and highlight the color of the particular component. So these maps can be created in Crazy Bump and normal map generator also. Otherwise you can directly create this in your Unreal Engine. This is also used for the texturing purpose. You can see how we created a particular, how we have taken the snapshot of a Unreal Engine platform in which we created this texturing of a object. You can see 4 types of normal mapping, and along with occlusion mapping, normal mapping, occlusion mapping, and base images are implemented here, and it is connected through a event graph. So whatever texture you want to give to the particular object, it can be created to the object is placed here. That means rail, we have created on texture for a rail. So object is placed here. So whatever with the base color, whatever will be the specular mapping, then your normal mapping and occlusion mapping, these kinds of mapping you can directly create and connect with the help of this event graph. So this is actually a view of how the texturing is performed in the Unreal Engine software with the help of this blueprint editor. So you can see this tutorials for this Unreal Engine softwares, which we use for the purpose of creation of this virtual environment in a workplace. And this there are plenty of videos, tutorial videos for this Unreal Engine software, which you can search and see how this they are doing the texturing, how they are importing the 3D models inside this Unreal Engine software, how they are placing the different 3D models inside this software, and how they are doing the soft shadowing, how the light and camera position is taken care of inside this Unreal Engine software. Then development of workplace environment. So, how the complete workplace environment will be developed? First, as we already discussed, that we have to take the pictures and videos of static and dynamic components that are present in the workplace. So, first you take the snapshot and videos of the static and dynamic components, then you take the data of the acceleration or motion inputs and acceleration data or velocity data of those dynamic objects, and how to place those objects in the environment that is to be taken care of. By obtaining the layout of the workplace, you can have this you can achieve this placing of static and dynamic object in the environment. Then model should be properly scaled, light and shadow effect in that particular environment should be taken care of. Then motion and acceleration input for the dynamic components, which is very important, like the vehicles or the crane movements inside the environment. So, this dynamic components need some motion and acceleration input, which you have to take care. Then sound for the components and of the environment, sound for the components of the environment also taken care of, because sound is very much needed, because the user, if the user will be interacting with the virtual environment, so whatever sound, different kinds of sound he is experiencing in the real environment, so he should experience these kinds of sounds in the virtual environment also, so that he will feel the immersiveness inside the virtual environment. Then how the motion and interaction is developed? So, we have done for a hook movement, I am showing you an snapshot. So, in y axis you have to give the input, x axis you have to give the input, then z axis also you have to give the input. So, hook movement and different input action for the particular component has to be given with the help of this Unreal Engine software. So, this is the snapshot how we develop the movement of this, why we gave the motion and interaction to a particular component by using the event graph. Then similarly, sound effects also can be created. Then that means fade in, there is a property called fade in, how much time the sound will fade and how much time the sound will fade out. So, by different input, by pressing which key the sound will come, or automatically the sound will be continuing in this particular environment. So, crane sound you can input. So, we developed for the crane simulator we developed. So, in which crane sound is given and to the target component, audio component. So, you can modify as per your requirement. So, up to what extent this sound will generate of, or you want to merge different kinds of sound inside the workplace, in which different kinds of components produce different kinds of sound. So, there is an option also, property also, where you can merge the different kinds of sound and there should be no interference between the sound creation. So, thank you. In this way we can see how we can develop this virtual environment and how we can handle different properties of virtual environment. So, what you have to learn is first the modeling of different components, 3D modeling of different components, which can be done with the help of requisite softwares, that means 3D modeling softwares, which for the purpose of which you can use SolidWorks, then your Google SketchUp, then 3ds Max or Maya. Then apart from this, after you develop this 3D modeling, then you will go for the texturing of those 3D models to give the real look, to the 3D models which will be present in the virtual environment. You can use different kinds of software, Unreal Engine, and for the creation of different kinds of map, which I already explained, normal mapping and occlusion mapping. Then base image implementation, you can use Crazy Bump software also for the creation, or you can directly create those textures in the Unreal Engine software. And finally, how to import those objects to the environment you want to create, workplace environment you want to create, and placing those objects in the environment as per the requirement, scaling those objects in the environment as per the requirement, so that the user can feel the presence of those components as if they are present in the real environment. The light, shadows and camera position of the camera position should be taken care of in the virtual environment also, so that the propagation of user interaction should be proper. Along with that, the user can interact with the virtual environment with the help of different input devices, which I already explained in the first lecture. So, with the help of this HMD head mounted devices, you can interact with the created virtual environment and perform your standard operating procedure with the help of different input devices. Either it will be through a gamepad, Oculus gamepad controllers, or it can be with the help of these keyboards or different kinds of joystick, wands, you can use these kinds of devices. And apart from that, whether the operator is performing the operation correctly or not, the data can be captured with the help of sensors. Those are mounted in the virtual lab environment, in which you can capture the user's movement data, and after that you can analyze the data, and different kinds of error in the movement or whatever the activities they are performing correctly or wrongly, you can measure also, and you can later on you can suggest for the necessary prevention strategies. You can modify, you can propose those, that these are the way these activities should have been performed. So, this kind of analysis is very much possible by creating a virtual environment. So, you think accordingly how you can develop a virtual environment for your workplace in which you are working, and what are the standard operating procedure you are following in the workplace, so that you just have to capture those data and create the 3D models, then incorporate the 3D models in the requisite software for development of virtual environment, then give training to the new operators or training to the experienced operators, and create different kinds of accident scenarios or hazardous elements, hazardous environment also you can create, for which you can later on give training to the new operators how to avoid those hazardous circumstances and perform safely the different kinds of operations. Thank you.